We hope you're enjoying yourself. We hope you're enjoying yourself as we start this day off. And the president embarrassed himself in front of the Navy. Maybe he'll embarrass himself in front of the Air Force next. But I appreciate the growth of the channel. I appreciate everybody who comes out on the rig. And let's get to some mining, shall we? Does anyone read, like, the IRL newspaper anymore? I think Grandpa needs to get a reality check. All you gotta do is watch your news and read your newspapers. The free paper stopped running like 2 years ago because of lack of interest. Most people get their stuff from, like, the Google News. Y'all, be safe out there. We are being run by idiots. It has truly become, cue the music, an idiocracy out there. I mean, it really is kind of why we shouldn't let 90-something-year-olds run the country. We should let them, you know, enjoy their golden years. Everybody best be being good over there. I heard what sounded like a little squeak.
Second time, military into Portland. U.S. District Judge Karen Emmergut said Sunday that the administration's effort to circumvent her original order, in part by deploying guard troops from California and Texas, was in direct contravention of her earlier decision, which prohibited Trump from federalizing 200 members of Oregon's National Guard. Though Trump had claimed the military was needed to combat daily violence against federal immigration officials, Emmergut, a Trump appointee, concluded that Trump's assessment was untethered to facts and failed to satisfy the legal basis to federalize the state's National Guard troops. Judge, I got a question. So, if you feel like they intentionally went to defy your prior order, would that not be contempt of court? I feel like, because we would do time. You know what I mean? We would do time. Is that not contempt of court? It sounds like that's what you're saying, but you don't want to say it. So, sound like you're a little scared. That sounds like contempt of court. As far as untethered the facts, I love that nobody challenges how untethered the facts this is, but how we can just normalize a president moving untethered to facts. Like that's just buried in the article that the president's basis is untethered to facts. She called Cap. She just yelled Cap in the courtroom. She just yelled Cap in the courtroom to the president's attorney, and we just act like it's regular. We're at that point.
We're going to look at that. It was amazing. Portland is burning to the ground. It's insurrectionists all over the place. It's Antifa, and yet the politicians who are petrified. Look, the politicians are afraid for their lives. That's the only reason that they say, like, there's nothing happening. And you've seen it. The place is burning down, and they pretend like there's nothing happening. So we'll take a look at the order. We haven't seen the order yet.
And here's video taken 1 hour ago outside the Portland ICE facility of the violent insurrectionists in question.
In the coming days and weeks, we may be pushed, if not forced, to take even more dramatic action if this administration continues to escalate and provoke our people. In closing, last night I spoke with the governor. He informed me that the Trump administration is deploying the Texas National Guard to our city. We will speak to our response later today. We'll do that with the governor as well as the attorney general. For now,
Also, recently David got me the entire Invader Zim complete series from, I got a card. It's a little private place called One second. This is downside to playing in a dark room. Wine Country Media. Check them out at... Oh, they're off at eBay. But it's a good company. You also check them out. Wine Country Media. They put 3 seasons, more or less, 2 full seasons and a movie, onto one Blu-ray thing for me. And so far, it's played really well. No audio issues. The mixing was good. Like I said, it's nice. It's nice to be able to have fun Blu-ray stuff like that. If you get the chance, check them out. It was a good company, and they sent a ton of different stuff with the Blu-ray to be like, hey, if there's any problem whatsoever, give us a call here. It's a nice thing to see in a world of everyone trying to avoid responsibility, a company that takes full responsibility and makes really good products. I'll point out again, because it fit well in the DVD screen, it plays well, it's got both seasons plus the end of the Flopsis verse. It's a good product. Give them a shot.
And then they rigged the election on me. And then we got him, didn't we? We got him, but we had to run it again. I
that's because they went and fixed it. They went and fixed. They had some illegals that were doing landscaping, and the illegals, they did the insurrection, and then the illegals came and cleaned up after them. That's why you don't see nothing.
Hello, hello, dear viewer. I hope your day is going well.
Oh, I see somebody finally made it to the Navy. That is one way to distract away from everything going on in Portland and the whole government shutdown. Now, I'm glad you decided to use the Navy's time to re-prosecute the election of 2020. You said they rigged the election on you. Well, yes, it's accountability on negative.
Also, we got our teeth in today. Finally got, like I said, it was a little bitty blemish or bruise from trying to eat chips without my teeth in, sadly. Getting old's no bueno, y'all. But I got my teeth back in again today, which is good, because hopefully by the end of the day, David will have a set of wheels up under him. That's the goal, at least. Here in a few hours, we'll be heading into Atlanta proper to... get a rental car, then heading into Atlanta proper to go get him this car that he likes. I wasn't going to be able to get a ride in today anyway. It's been raining for the past 2 days.
A man that everybody loves. He was my doctor in the White House, and I got to know him very well. He was also the doctor for Barack Hussein Obama. Have you heard of him? And he was the doctor for a man named Bush. And at a press conference, they asked him, who's in the best shape, who's the healthiest, who's the strongest, who's the best physical specimen of the three? He said, that's easy. President Donald Trump. And I said, I love this guy. I said, I love him.
Barack Hussein Obama, again, in 2025. Barack Hussein Obama. And then did the pause. Y'all man. Black MAGA. I mean, really. I just, you can't look worse, but somehow you manage to look worse. Every time he opens his mouth, somehow you manage to look worse. And now, we're at the part where we're all supposed to believe that Donald Trump is in better shape than Barack Obama. Shout out to Mehdi Hassan for this. No sane person believes Donald Trump is in better shape than Barack Obama. No sane person talks about themselves like this in public. Note the racist job at Obama. He can't stop being racist ever. But it gets overlooked because of the absurdity of what he's saying in general.
I still got some axes, so let's go get some coal.
Where we just smile and nod at the president when we all knowingly accept the words that are coming out of his mouth are nonsense. About the president. We treat the president like I treat my friends' kids.
Child, I love you. Please don't claw on my leg like that.
Outlandish stories. You know, we went with Daniel Tiger and Donald Duck on vacation last week on the back of a unicorn.
I love you, cat. I'm tired of getting clawed while you try to figure out how to climb me best. Sorry about that, y'all. Oblivion's a sweet cat, but somewhat, well, she's not always the best at climbing properly. Crap, I better run. I just never get lucky when it comes to this part of it.
somebody else is going to give it to me. You know the old story? They don't give you credit, just take it yourself.
I got it. So he treats credit just like pizza, like a pizza party. You just gotta go in aggressive. And then if they tell you that's too much, you know, then you might have to give some back. But at least if you go in aggressive, then when they pull you back, you at least at a place where you got a good amount of pizza. That's how I got it. So credit is just something to be claimed. Again, untethered from facts. Got it. Okay. It doesn't belong to anybody. It's just credit, and whoever takes it, takes it. Wrong. You know, that would pretty much explain everything he said about Joe Biden and Barack Obama for the last 10 years.
Deployed a brand new unit, the Navy SEALs, to tear up, take on Ruben and Delta. Problem with Vietnam, we stopped fighting to win. We would have won easily.
Trump, who's weak?
I know we're not going to get rid of Trump because our country's weak and pathetic, but can we, like, be done with elderly presidents after Trump? Because I'm just tired of watching, like, our military get lampooned. I'm tired of watching good people get, like, humiliated because these good working men and women are basically being talked down to by geriatric dipshits that don't realize what year it is anymore. Well, I'll tell you what, we could have won Vietnam, but Vietnam, we were too political. Vietnam, you mean the part in American history where we had to accept that our military weren't like godsends and that we were raping people? Vietnam, where we murdered just as many civilians as combatants. But Jesus Christ, y'all, pick up a history book and ignore our current president because he is a blithering idiot. And a racist. Like, out and proud racist. He's an idiot and a racist. Well, we won World War I. We survived World War I. We didn't really do much in the way of helping or hurting with that one. World War II, we came in at the end of the theater and basically pretended like we were the saving grace to the entire thing. Y'all, it's pure American propaganda, and it's all bad for you. I said, y'all, it's just sad times we find ourselves living in.
I said, what do you think about changing it to the Department of War? He said, I love it, sir. He knows about the end of it, huh?
Now, you said we won everything before, right? We won everything before. What, like the Revolutionary War? I know about War of 1812, French and Indian War, all that kind of stuff. Them burning the capital. Nah, we don't let all. I'm not here for that part. We know about that part. I'm here for this part. Can you tell us about the Revolutionary War again? Oh, chill. No, I just want to hear. I just want to hear about the Air Force.
The Air Force in the Revolutionary War, y'all. You remember those fine Revolutionary airports. Kids, behave and play nice, please. Cats wanting to be territorial over the bathroom.
That you made this about yourself when you say this.
Thank you, group of women from North Carolina. Look at these men. Will you stand up? These beautiful women have followed me. This is number 151.
Children, play nice. Hey, play nice, Chikora. Now that I see which one of you is growling. Play nice, mama. Play nice. Y'all gonna make me unhook this and get loud, aren't you? Play nice.
The degradation and bastardization of the standards that have been upheld for hundreds of years about the military being broken by Trump because he wants his ego uplifted at all times. That would be taking the best possible, that's the best possible take on this. There's another way that I could take this as well.
But we have to take care of this little gnat that's on our shoulder called the Democrats. They want to give all of our money to illegal aliens and pour into the country. And I have a bigger heart than they do. But the problem is when you do that, they come in by the get good. But I've also pledged the largest ever investment in our military's history. We're spending over $1 trillion. We've never had anything like that before. $1 trillion. Our military, and that includes, along with your Secretary of the Navy and Pete Hegseth, we're going to be building lots of ships and doing a lot of things that you haven't seen happen for 35 years.
That's right, a little gnat on our shoulders called the Democrats that we need to take care of while he addresses the United States military. Now, one of the things that Trump apologists would love to say, because Trump would never say, because he makes sure that to never give full context to what he's saying, terrible thing, but never have to fall back from the terrible thing. Now, one of the things that the Trump apologists would say was it's a turn of phrase, or he's talking about, okay, fair enough. Is this y'all at the same time as he's talking to the military about taking care of a gnat called the Democrats and calling it a rally? This y'all? This evening, President Trump is ordering 400 members of the Texas National Guard for deployments to Illinois, Oregon, and other locations within the United States. No officials from the federal government called me directly to discuss or coordinate. Let's now start calling this what it is, Trump's invasion. It started with federal agents. It will soon include deploying federalized against our wishes, and it will now involve sending in another state's military troops. I There's no reason a president should send military troops into a sovereign state without their knowledge, consent, or cooperation. The brave men and women who serve our National Guard must not be used as political props. This is a moment where every American must speak up to help stop this madness. That from Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. The federal government is seizing control of a southern state's military to invade northern states. It's almost like we're doing the Civil War again. Oh, did somebody say Civil War? Congressman Randy Fine, we're getting awfully close to 1861. Now, my entire life, this kind of talk has always been theoretical because the understanding was that the checks and balances would hold and that people would stand up and do their duty in order to protect the Constitution. I'm sorry, did I say all of my life? Up through the last decade. Because we heard from Governor Abbott. I fully authorize the president to call up 400 members of the Texas National Guard to ensure safety for federal officials. You can either fully enforce protection for federal employees or get out of the way and let Texas Guard do it. skill and expertise of the Texas National Guard, we defend our country with pride. America must also know that Texas still has thousands of National Guard assisting with the border security. Did somebody say something about states' rights? Huh? Did somebody say something about states' rights? And state sovereignty? Leave it to the states? Yeah, we come back around to this point, about a couple of times a month. And we reached our first one for October. That MAGA and the Conservative Party isn't actually about anything.
Did Governor Greg Abbott just declare war on both Illinois and Oregon? You might remember the massive freakout back in 2015 during the Obama administration when a joint military training event called Jade Hill had MAGA folks, who back then were the Tea Party folks, convinced that Texas was about to be invaded. Abbott himself got in on that one. Picture then for a moment what the reaction in modern MAGA Texas might be.
I need to make
The
more.
Democratic president had actually requested and actually been granted permission to mobilize National Guard troops from Oregon and Illinois and send them into the Lone Star State, further the agenda of that same Democratic president.
Nothing at all, other than protecting and uplifting Trump and his wishes. That's it. That's it, because Lord knows you would be perfectly fine with Illinois sending their National Guard into Texas. In fact, Governor Abbott, I believe it was you that tried to do a standoff when
Yeah, it sounds like the county be popping off from all the sirens going by outside. Hope everybody's being safe out there.
with Biden when he sent people into Texas. But you want to send your people into another state. What are you about, MAGA? Say it with me. Not a damn thing. Nothing. Nothing. Not a principle in sight. Huh? Principle like ideal. Matter of fact, you could go with a principle PAL too, because ain't nobody in charge. It's some more bullshit. And that point is significant. There's nobody in charge, because if there was, you would think at the minimum they would at least make sure that they have public support for all of the moves that they are making. Just making sure that all of these things are politically tenable. Nope, not MAGA.
Yeah, it's a political loser, John. It's a political loser. Donald Trump may think it's a political winner, but it's a political loser. Oppose Trump deploying in the U.S. cities, active duty U.S. military, 61%. The National Guard in particular, 58%. When you get 3 in 5 Americans agreeing on anything, you know if that is on the opposition side, it's a political loser. And among independents who are, of course, that key block in the middle of the United States political electorate, we're talking about 2/3 of independents there and about who oppose the deployment of either active duty U.S. military or National Guard in the U.S. cities. What are the questions that people are asking, or what are the issues they see with these deployments? Okay, look, I think it's that they don't buy Donald Trump's case for why these troops must go into the U.S. cities. So the New York Times essentially gave you a two-pronged little answer here, right? Trump may use the National Guard to intimidate rivals, or big city crime will spiral out of control if the troops don't go into cities. What you see is the majority that takes the case is that Trump may use the National Guard to intimidate political rivals at 51%. Just 42% of Americans agree with the Donald Trump stance that, in fact, big city crime will spiral out of control if the National Guard doesn't go into U.S. cities. So essentially what we're seeing here is Donald Trump's making a case, the Democratic opposition is making another case, and the Democratic opposition's case is winning here, and that is a big reason why what you see is you get about 3 in 5 Americans saying they don't want troops going to the U.S. cities.
Here's another really interesting way at looking at this. President Trump seems uniquely focused on Portland, on Memphis, on these cities and crime there. What do voters think he should be focused on?
Okay, so if you saw the opening slide on this segment, right, what has Trump taken his eye off the ball? The American people believe, yes, John Berman, Donald Trump has taken his eye off the ball. There is too much focus on putting troops in the U.S. cities. 52%, the majority of Americans agree that the Trump administration is focusing too much on that. Where do they want him to go? They want him to focus on lowering prices. 75% say there's too little focus on lowering prices.
So if you're scoring from home, we have a president turning the Navy's 250th celebration into a rally while he talks about is wildly unpopular. This is going to be the hardest chapter of AP history. Hell, forget AP history. I'm trying to survive AP current. I need AP daily is hard enough. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. You know what? September was a month to remember. The highest views we've seen all year. I know. September. I know the lyrics. I don't even think they know the lyrics. Wrong. And they told me September was a low month for YouTube. You know, kids are going back to school, parents are getting back into the swing of work. Not on my channel. It's for that reason I'm always going to remember September. My anniversary was in September. It was, wasn't it? I'm gonna have to get rid of this section. As I was saying, September, what a beautiful time for love. It's also a beautiful time for merch, for that special someone in your life. I had seen your questions about the merch link, and it is up at reedswaters.com. However, we are undergoing some changes as we're in the process of getting it linked directly to the YouTube. So
Well, I did not think that through clearly.
right
There we go.
on my page, so be on the lookout for that. And while we're talking merch, I want to send a shout out to Tracy, who sent us this dope photo and her discouraged, depleted, but never defeated t-shirt. And I also want to give a quick shout out and a happy birthday to Melva and to her daughter, as well as my man Dwight and Daryl over at the barbershop. And yeah,
Okay.
you can tell I just came from the barbershop
Let's go get some dick.
because I'm shooting during the daytime. Yeah. I want you to see that. It's just all the crisp I want you to see, because when I get fuzzy, I start shooting at night. And then once I pass 2 weeks, I just become a face for the channel.
Alright. Two. more railing. That's not what I needed. Let's make a few more railings set up, and then I'm going to have to go get some chores knocked out before we start our daily activities. I'll try to make this stream last as long as I can, but unfortunately, you know, we can take a little bit of time and preemptively set up some things for the next build stream we do, though. That way it'll be a little bit quicker on the building time. Alrighty. Before we go too far in that, we might need to make some more bars. Let's take it up a little bit higher. paper on the upper floor. Let's try to make it a little bit fancier here. Put some wooden stairs down. Still got plenty of those. Let's not waste that one just yet. Let's go. get rid of the rest of my shovels for now. Oh crap, I forgot. This goes down below it. I was doing a whole thing over here that I just completely spaced on. Huh. I'll have to come back to this project in a bit. It was meant to be an add-on. I just spaced on it because I never came to this side for a bit. This is our next add-on here, which is supposed to eventually end up being a growing slash storage area. And then that's going to be a food slash tower area, which is where I'm heading now to plant some of these seeds. Yeah, better do it over here where they got direct sunlight. Alright, well that's a start, I suppose. Yeah. And that, well, I can definitely get sand and glass from down there. That all appears to be snow, which would be a building material all of its own if I can survive long enough to gather enough of it. We might make the lowest parts of our base ice-themed, perhaps. Or the topmost part ice-themed, who knows. I'm still not 100% I'm going to make it all the way to the end of this yet, but we're going to try. The question is, what's all that? Because it almost looks like stalactites, but in the shape of trees. Yeah, I can make it to that tree, I think. Maybe. Now once we get to that tree, we'll make a tower on this side. And just basically seal off this tiny island, I think. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. I would like to build just as much on the outside as I do on the inside. The problem is every time I get cocky about building on the outside, I get killed off somehow. Usually by those damned phantoms or one of those itty-bitty little drowned characters. The baby zombies really mess me up bad. And hell yeah, just like that, we made it. Ooh, we're right on the edge of the Arctic map, it looks like. The Arctic, the ocean. I'd say this is more of a temperate jungle than anything else, but you know. Who's being judgy? Let's just widen out this walkway a bit so it's a little less harrowing to get about. For the record, I cannot tell you how much I love the crouch option. This would be almost impossible to do if I didn't have the crouch as an option. I'm also not a big fan of how dark it's getting, because I know that those flying fucks spawn before the sun sets completely. And I'd rather not get pushed off of this thing as we are quite high in the air. And to quote Squidward, I wonder if a fall from this height could kill me. I don't really want to find out. It's only been 122 days. Okay, clearly the tradesman has balls that clank. Good for him. Okay, we're just gonna run back now. We'll finish building this in a bit. For now, safety, sanctuary. Not that direction. Oh good, I was starting to wonder about my little golem, guys. I was hoping it was still sorting away. But alright, y'all. That'll be it for the moment. We will be coming back later on today. I just want to get a few little art projects underway before I gotta dip out with David to go pick up this car. Till then, we've reached day 122. I'm gonna start trying to remember to put it in the description how many days we've been going. It's just hard to remember, you know. We installed this lovely new staircase. The base now completely, I think, now completely goes around the hole we've made, for now. And we've started to expand our empire out and away from here into the adjacent terrain, where acceptable. We're going to try to expand it out further and safely, slowly modeling out all of this world. Though admittedly this is going to be the ideal means of traveling for a great distance, will be underground, just because it's a bit safer. usually. But alrighty, y'all, for now, unfortunately, I think we about to do our signing off stuff. If you like the stream, feel free to like, subscribe, share, do all the cool algorithm things. And we will see you on the next one, y'all. Will I live? Will I die? Who knows? But we're going to give it our best try regardless. And remember, y'all, at the end of the day, it is just a game. So if I die, we'll just restart again. Different area, different underground path, maybe a different design. But I'm digging this whole open floor plan kind of thing. Eventually, once Leah and the rest of the fam can get on and play with me, then I'll start letting other people on as well. I'm just a little gun shy because, you know, one, I promised my sister she'd be the first one to play this game with me. But two, it just, you know, I'm a little nervous I'm going to let someone on the stream, they're just going to pop up, kill me, then sign off going haha or something like that, you know? And that would be a touch upsetting. Just a little. But either way, y'all, I appreciate you. I hope the little end of time tour was entertaining. And for now, let me go down one more floor so we're safer. Just a little bit. Modicum safer. But for now, we'll talk to y'all later. Be good, stay safe, endure and survive. Hopefully more streams to come later today. Bye for now, y'all.